Okay, so we just had Izzy versus Imavov wrap up, and before I talk about anything, Israel Adesanya got knocked the fuck out. Early stoppage or not, whatever you want to say, there was no problem with the ref stepping in there. He was out with the first punch and got woken up with the ground and pound, and maybe could have recovered, but I don't know, man. I think it was a good stoppage. I think it was the right stoppage, the right time to do it. Goddard gave his chance to get up, and he didn't. He couldn't. Yeah, man. The end of the Izzy era is officially here. He needs to retire. I know he's not gonna, because now he's gonna say, "Oh, it was an early stoppage. He left the cage without talking." He's not gonna retire. But dude, this is how champions go on 5 to 6 loss streaks at the end of their careers. I don't want to see that shit. All right, Izzy's not my favorite fighter at all, but dude, I don't want to see that. But yeah, let's talk about the card. This shit was early, and I hated it. I was tired the whole card, but that's probably my fault for not getting enough sleep. But yeah, the whole main card was all underdogs except for Pavlovich. So if you cashed out, then good for you. But yeah, a lot of underdog wins. Oliveira beat a gassed out Saeed. Pavlovich got it done in a pretty boring decision. MVP completely embarrassed Shara, which we all probably should have seen coming because, Shara kind of just gets beat in his fights until he KOs them. I really thought his kicks would fuck up MVP's movement and not let him be able to do that to him as he does to all his other opponents with that crazy in and out style, but he wasn't even able to land the kicks. He wasn't even able to get close enough to land them. He was just scared of getting hit, as he should have been the whole fight. Very low output fight, very just picking their shots very carefully, as MVP always does. Yeah, he dominated. He won all 3 rounds. Maybe he lost the first, but he probably won that one as well. He did his thing. He did his thing he does every fight. That style is so hard, so weird, so awkward, hard to figure out in 15 minutes. Yeah, and Shara got completely dominated, embarrassed. Yeah, he's not that good. I know he wasn't. He's a terrible person, so I'm glad he lost. Okay, we'll break down the whole card now, starting with the first fight of the night with Jamal Pogues getting robbed of a decision victory against Hamdi, whatever the fuck his last name is. Yeah. This was a close fight. It was pretty good for heavyweight. I don't think it was as bad as people are saying. Like, this is pretty peak heavyweight. I'm going to be real. They actually didn't gas. It was pretty high output, pretty competitive. Neither guy just relied on their big looping overhands and to get the knockout win. They were actually going for volume, trying to win rounds, investing in leg kicks, and actually doing skillful things, which a lot of heavyweights do not do. And a lot of heavyweights just gas out after blobbing around for a round. So I think these guys are both pretty good. I do think Jamal clearly won, though. He clearly outvolumed him all 3 rounds, landed a stiff jab, was poking that jab out. It looked really good. His foot movement, lateral movement was all really good throughout the whole fight. I just don't really say or see how you think Hamdi won this fight. Like, he maybe won round 1 because he landed a pretty big, significant strike that somewhat dropped Pogues at the beginning of the round and then got the takedown with it, but didn't really do much with the takedown. Didn't control him much, didn't land any ground and pound, so I don't know, man. People will defend these no matter what. There's gonna be people saying, "Nah, man, it wasn't a robbery. What are you talking about?" Like, shut the fuck up, okay? Pogues clearly won. He landed double the amount of significant strikes Hamdi did each round. Close fight because Hamdi was damaging him, but no. Okay, when they're both landing damage, it goes to the guy who's landing the twice amount of significant strikes as the other guy. Okay. Pretty good fight. I enjoyed it. Then we had Bogdan Grad TKO Lucas Alexander. Man, fuck MMA because it doesn't make any sense. Lucas Alexander looked better throughout the whole fight everywhere. He looked better on the feet. His grappling scrambles were better. He was getting reverses throughout the whole of the grappling exchanges every single time. He'd get taken down. He'd reverse him. He'd land somewhat ground and pound. On the feet, he looked beautiful, looked amazing. Really good kicks, body kicks, dropped him with calf kicks, elbows in the clinch, just everything. He looked better everywhere. And then he gets mounted and TKO'd. So, yeah, that's MMA. Good win for Bogdan. I think it was his debut. So, I'm not mad. I'm mad. But just because you can pick these guys, you pick them, they look better on paper, everything. Their resume's better. They're more tested. But when it comes down to it, they're just going to get hurt and TKO'd. So, it doesn't matter. predictions, fucking, I hate it. You know, I'm done with prediction videos, guys. Fuck that. Then we had Jasmine Judavicius beat Buena Silva by dominant decision. I mean, I don't know why so many people thought Buena Silva was a good underdog here. She's terrible. I'm sorry. Like, she's not good. She just relies on her chin and toughness. You know, in the first round, she looked pretty powerful on the feet, was throwing big bombs. She has good power. She's probably on roids. Let's be real here. Did she pop before? Probably. Looks like a man. That's all I'm going to say. But, hey, she's from Brazil. Maybe it's just that. You know, so, yeah. Judavicius completely dominated with the wrestling throughout the rest of the 2 rounds. She did it at the end of the first round, too. So, you probably can make an argument she won all 3. Maybe lost the first on damage on the feet. But, yeah. Won the next 2 dominantly. Landed really devastating ground and pound throughout the whole fight of the next 2 rounds. Yeah, really good wrestling. Scrambled out of the submission attempts easily. She looked good. You know, not that good on the feet. She was landing decent elbows in the clinch, but other than that, her boxing is a bit iffy, a bit skeptical of that. But yeah, she's pretty good. You know, it's women's MMA. Let's move on. We had Terrence McKinney get a TKO victory, ground and pound finish. You know, thank God. Because if he got chinned by Demir, it's over for him. You know, it's not like he was on a losing fight skid. I thought he was going into the fight, and then I had to check after he won. He actually was only on a 1-fight losing streak, you know, so he's not cooked completely, but I do think his defense still looked really bad. He just throws, he just throws everything he has in the first round, leaves his chin on a platter. He's going to get KO'd by anyone who can actually box and take advantage of those opportunities, because Demir just looked terrible, you know, big layoff, like inactive as fuck, just really bad on the feet. He's probably going to be cut. He probably should be. But yeah, we'll see. Pretty fun finish. Next we had Shamil the Blob Gaziev got a crazy 1-shot TKO victory. No, knockout. It was not a TKO, it was a knockout. He knocked him the fuck out with his blobness, alright? It was actually a good performance, you know? Yeah, I mean, what do I say? It was in the first round, I think. They blobbed around for a few minutes, and then he just landed a crazy, just one out of nowhere. Just boom, put him down. He was done. He took his mouthpiece out immediately. He just gave up. He was out. He was done. He wasn't getting up. Thank God the ref actually stopped it, because that would have been awkward. He took his mouthpiece out. He literally gave up. He was like, oh, I don't want to get blobbed. Chill. Like, you know, he gave up. He knew. He knew the blob was too much for him. You know, good victory, unironically, for Shamil Gaziev. You know, maybe the title walk is going to happen. You know, it might. Next, we had Muhammad Naimov beat Khan Alfi. And, yeah, Khan Alfi's fucking terrible, okay? I don't know why he got a contract. I don't care if his Contender Series loss was a war. Bro, he's terrible, okay? He landed some decent strikes where he caught and rocked Naimov, like, somewhat. He's a blob of muscle. He can strike. He can punch. He has power. But other than that, all this dude did was fail takedowns. He just pushed him up against the cage, didn't throw elbows in the clinch, didn't do nothing, no knees up the middle, nothing, all right? It was a whole lot of nothing. He just pushed him up against the cage, robbed him, Mario Batista him, whatever you want to say, okay? He fucking sucks. This was a trash fight for most of it because of him, but Muhammad Naimov looked really good, you know? Got his back multiple times, was landing decent strikes in the clinch, good boxing, looked strong, didn't look as brittle in there because I've seen him be really, like, brittle to body kicks and body shots before, but he looked better. You know, he looked really good. A good win from him. Then we had Fares Zahim beat Mike Davis. Yeah, this one pissed me off because why was Mike Davis pulling guard the whole first round? He literally gave the first round away, okay? And then he came back and won the second round, and then he got dominated in the third round, you know? He was just not fighting like himself, you know? He's very inactive, and I probably should have saw this coming because these fighters just can't be consistent if they're going to be that inactive. It's just not going to happen. It's too much to ask from them, but yeah. You know, really bad cut got opened up. There was a lot of blood. It was fun to watch. It was a really fun fight, back and forth war. Fares Zahim looked really strong. Picked Mike Davis up at one point. Just picked him up completely like Merab picking up Cejudo. Just threw him. Yeah, good. He won most of the boxing exchanges. He used his reach really well. Mike Davis did dominate with the grappling at sometimes, but he just didn't really fight like he wanted to win. It's just... he didn't really look like he wanted to be in there. It was weird. He was guard pulling. He was just not looking like he wanted to be there. I don't know. Weird performance from, honestly, both of them because I feel like Fares Zahim could have got the TKO if he just went for it because Mike Davis looked like he just wanted to get out of there. So, yeah, decent performance. back and forth, fun little fight. Next, we had Said Nurmagomedov he didn't beat him. Fuck. Vinicius Oliveira beat Said Nurmagomedov. Because why do these guys who are built like Said and Zabit, like, why do they gas in one round? I don't understand. They're skinny as fuck. They're so lean. Like, they're in shape. Why do they gas so quick? I don't understand. Like, he was doing so good. The first round he dominated, landed a crazy spinning wheel kick to the face, hurt Vinicius Oliveira, and Vinicius Oliveira had a fucking rib injury. Said, you had no excuses to lose this. He's also a very inactive fighter, so, you can leave it to that. You can throw it on that excuse if you want, but, dude, I don't know. That cardio it just looks really bad. His wrestling looked really bad, too. Sapaj out-wrestled Vinicius Oliveira when he wasn't injured for the whole fight, basically, until he got TKO'd brutally. So, I'm confused there. Said's wrestling looked a lot better before in past performances, so I don't really know what's going on, man. You can't predict MMA. It's fucking impossible, but this was a really good fight. Both of them are very good. Fun to watch. Next, we had Sergey Pavlovich beat Jairzinho Rozenstruik by boring-ass decision. It was so low output, so plotty. Both of them were so scared of each other's power, which, I mean, Pavlovich, I'm going to just tell you a secret. Jairzinho Rozenstruik doesn't have fucking power, man. He doesn't. You could have went in there and threw big bombs, and you could have got him out of there, probably. He's a heavyweight. He's really fast. He's really good defensively, good foot movement, but Jairzinho just doesn't have power. He just doesn't really knock guys out. So, I really think he could have got the TKO if he wanted it, or knockout. He rocked him a few times. He did. He made him stumble on his feet a few times, but other than that, very low output fight where Pavlovich would just end up getting the takedown in most of the rounds and just control him, not really do much ground and pound. So yeah, pretty boring fight. Let's move on. The co-main event was very fun to watch because, dude, MVP is always fun to watch. He's so just unique. No one does it like him. He's so fun. And yeah, I got to watch him embarrass this inbred fuck. So yeah, I don't give a fuck. Fuck Sharon. Fuck Shara. Okay, I get it. I'm the pirate. It's so cool. Dude, he's fucking lame, alright? He assaulted an innocent bystander. He's a pussy, okay? He's a pussy, alright? I don't give a fuck, okay? Good performance by MVP. Shara got exposed, finally. I've literally been picking against him in every single fight, and then I finally pick him against MVP, so I'm kind of embarrassed now, But I thought his leg kicks would be really big trouble for MVP. And he would be able to actually land boxing. I don't think he landed a single significant strike on MVP. He got embarrassed. He got dominated really badly. I was still scared, very skeptical that he wasn't gonna get the decision victory. Because with these judges, you never fucking know. He's not Magomed in his last name, Then we had Israel Adesanya, man. It's over. Dude, I screamed so loud. He got TKO'd in the second round. How the fuck did this dude take all the shots from Pereira? Dude. His chin is so good, and Nasruddin still knocked him the fuck out. That's crazy. I'm gonna be real. That's crazy. Dude, Nasruddin hits hard. I knew he did, but I just didn't really think he would be able to implement the grappling. And Izzy was doing so well. He fended off every single takedown, pushed it off easily, looked really good, really fast, really strong. But it just wasn't enough. I think at this point, it's not even about being out of his prime. He just doesn't have the same confidence. He just doesn't have the same, counter-strike confidence. Like, he wasn't really counter-striking, like, dominantly, like going to hurt him. He was just kind of poking him. Like, I know Izzy's been known to do that before, but he's also been known to counter-strike, TKO, and finish Paulo Costa, Alex Pereira, Robert Whittaker. He's been able to finish people before. He has good counter shots and good counter ability, but he just didn't have it in this fight. Didn't really damage Nasruddin other than like stiff jabs that were busting up his face a little bit. I think he had a black eye by the end of it, but I don't know, man. This one hurt. I really wanted to see Izzy win this because everyone was counting him out. I felt like a lot of people picked Nasruddin, and I didn't want it to be true. I don't really like Izzy that much, but I do like him as a fighter, and I want to see him fight still. But at this point, in my humble opinion, he should call it quits, okay? He's rich as fuck. All he's going to do is keep getting beat because at this point, his confidence is going to be even lower. He's going to be Maybe not even a main event at this point. He probably would be. He'd probably be another Fight Night main event or something. Fuck it. They could probably get away with him being a pay-per-view main event. No, they couldn't. What am I saying? Who's he going to fight? That's the thing. If he wants to fight again, now it's going to have to be like even lower down the rankings, Maybe not. Maybe he could fight Kaio still. That fight is still possible, I guess. But, dude, he's just going to get TKO'd by him too, He's a GOAT of the division. I don't give a fuck. He's better than Anderson Silva. I'm sorry. Anderson Silva is overrated. I'm sorry. He's the middleweight GOAT, okay? He is. I mean, Dreykus is coming for that very soon. So, not for long. But Izzy's still the GOAT in middleweight. And if he just goes on a 5 or 6, 7 loss streak at the end of his career, it's just going to hurt it unnecessarily. Just retire, bro. All right? That's all I have to say. I'm tired. I'm ready to take a nap. This card's fucking... Yeah, it was all right. It was decent. 7 out of 10, maybe 6.5 out of 10 card. It was all right. For a free card, I enjoyed it. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.